Is there another technique that you could think of? Like you spoke about two of them, I think, so far. Is there other techniques that you could see are maybe applicable to people who are working with a coach and need some sort of support with that?
There's a bunch of different techniques that we went over. The most important ones are, to be honest, and this one isn't even a technique, it's just the language.
Mm-hmm.
So we gather 2 million bits of information through our senses every second. Like we see things, we hear things, we feel things, we smell and taste things. 2 million bits of information are flung at us every second, and we cannot consciously comprehend that.
Mm-hmm.
We only take in about 126 pieces of that information because we generalize and we filter everything.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore, every event is different. And I think being aware of that just changes you, or it should help change your perception. Like, you may think you're in this event, yet you're only focusing on 126 pieces of information in this event out of 2 million. If you just focus on a few other pieces, the whole event changes. How you feel will change as a result, giving you the power to then be like, whoa, I'm looking at this a different way. I'm no longer limiting myself. I'm no longer, thinking negatively about this. Just a simple shift in how you think and see things is
Mm-hmm.
is huge. As for the techniques, the the big one is the foods mapping across, of course. The behavior changes. So if you have like a minor state or behavior that you want to change. Another one is if you want to feel a certain way, you want to feel empowered, you want to feel confident. If you're going into work and you're feeling tired and lethargic and you're just like, oh my God, and you want to feel ready to tackle the day, ready to tackle your calls, ready to go into the gym or whatever and smash it, you can set these techniques up, or one of the techniques up, in a way that you feel however you want in the moment. You can set that off and trigger it at will. Another big one, which was actually really powerful, and I can talk about another success story with this one, is many of us suffer from procrastination. We get in stuck states. When we're procrastinating, we're just overwhelmed. We're just lost. We're just like, man, there's too much to do. You just put it off. There's a technique that we've done, and I've done this with a few other people. So the technique is you're breaking procrastination. You're moving out of a stuck state into a moving state, which is motivation. There's a few steps in between there that we have to get to. Yet, imagine not feeling procrastinated. And I'm not saying that you're going to be like 100% efficient at all times. It just means that you can sit down and you get to choose. All right, I'm going to work on this, or I have to work on that. You no longer just sit there and watch TV and binge Netflix, knowing you've got 100 chores to do.
Mm-hmm.
A success story is, in order to be a practitioner, in order to qualify to pass the exam and become a qualified practitioner of NLP level one, I had to go through all of these exercises with a demo. I chose my mum for these. She was my guinea pig, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
So after that, I chose her just to go through every one, because I knew she'd be honest, and she was willing and open to trying it all and create change. A couple of weeks later, or maybe a month later, I said, "Hey, how are you feeling about everything that we just went through last month?" And she was like, "Yeah, there's one. Everything's great. I didn't eat this. My behavior that I changed is great. I'm drinking water instead of sitting down. I'm feeling productive." She tried the anchoring, so she felt, she came home from work one day and she was like, you know what, I don't want to go out. So she done the technique where she brought about a state of motivation where she felt motivated to go out with her friends. And then she was like, but there's one that I don't think's working too well, and it's the procrastination one. I can't really remember what I'm doing or what I need to do to not procrastinate. And I says, well, let me, like, are you procrastinating? Are you sitting down? And she's like, no, like I do my stuff and then I sit down. So it's like these changes already happened like in her
Mm-hmm.
brain. And again, going back to, she totally forgot. She was thinking that something had to happen before she did not procrastinate. Whereas instead, because the changes had already happened at the unconscious level, she was not procrastinating, doing the chores. So she'd do the dishes, do her washing, and then sit down and be like, cool. So, but it took me to say, hey, are you still procrastinating? And she went, yeah, good. I don't feel like. And then after me saying that, she's like, yeah, I'm not. I'm doing the stuff, and then I'm sitting down, and it's her choice to sit down. So
Mm-hmm.
again, these changes are just so powerful. So that's another good one. Is the procrastination. I think that one is powerful. If you can change a state, if you get angry at your family, or if you get angry at work, or if you're in traffic, you can change that and bring about something completely different. You know, if you want to be calm, cool, and collected, you can. So I think that in itself is just life changing for some. I've used that for job interviews and before going on calls like this. You know, I used to get really nervous, and I just feel like all of the tools and techniques gained from the NLP has just totally shifted that around.
Mm-hmm.